Buddy, on a Monday, brought to you by our Dukes of Bell Hey Man Ale. Don't forget, guys, we're on Twitch. All the cool kids are on Twitch, or maybe on YouTube as well. Jason, our guy's doing a great job. Jason's producing, so you can watch us on Twitch or even on YouTube, and just punch in 92.9 The Game, Atlanta, and you'll find us.
Listen, it's cool. Jason's doing a great job, and he's making us look amazing.
All right, how amazing were the Grammys last night? Because you know me, full disclosure, I'm not a big fan of award shows, but from what I've read, and I've read about everything I could and watched some of the highlights, it seems like the show was not too bad last night.
Yeah, here's the deal for me. One, I have a teenage daughter. Two, I like to be up to date with what's going on with pop culture. And I still listen to popular music, even though I think, Mike, when you get to a certain age, like when you get in your 40s, you start to realize you're listening to stuff that you listen to in your 20s and your 30s because that's your music. Right? That's just your life. And last night they did a celebration of 50 years in hip hop. And I tweeted this out. I remember when the Grammys wouldn't acknowledge hip hop. Right. Like there was no awards. All this stuff like before the show, such and such won. They wouldn't even do that. Okay? Right. So to see all these artists come out last night, and my wife looked at me and she said afterwards, that was pretty cool. And I said, you know why? Because that's our life. Like the last 50 years, hip-hop has influenced our culture, our life, our language, all the things in such a way. So from that standpoint, it was cool. I didn't watch the show in detail to say I was judging certain artists, but I know, Mike, the criticism was out there.
Yeah, and some folks said Beyonce, when's she ever going to get, I guess, Record of the Year, which she didn't get, but she's got everything else. She's won a ton of awards, and it's kind of funny. She was late, apparently, getting to the awards with LA traffic. And then there was a lot of memes out there of Ben Affleck with J-Lo, and Ben Affleck looking bored out of his mind at the awards.
I'm just here for you, honey. I'm just here for you.
So I saw this stuff today because I subscribe to a bunch of the Variety and the Hollywood Reporter, and I was talking to my wife about this, and I said, look, I get it. Harry Styles is like one of the most recognizable superstars in the world right now, and again, these guys, fashion is a big part of the new Hollywood, and they want to wear what they wear. I mean, can't you just wear a freaking regular suit for crying? He was wearing a camisole last night. I mean, I get it. That guy can wear a burlap sack, and every girl on the planet will jump his bones. But for God, can't you wear an Armani suit? Just wear a freaking suit. The hell, man. And then some people, though, again, I didn't watch, so I have to defer to you. But a lot of people said it was a rather listless performance by Harry Styles.
So here's the deal, from what I understand, and I'm not. Don't get me wrong here. I'm not the biggest Harry Styles fan, but this is what I understand. And my daughter actually went. I think he came in concert. She went to see him with some friends. And you're right, he's huge. But he's known for this gender fluid fashion.
That's the phrase.
Okay. That he says and he feels like icons before him, like David Bowie or Mick Jagger did. And this is what he's saying. And then, for the first time, he's kind of opening up about his sexuality, which leads to the dress, Mike, okay? Right. So when you see him in these outfits or these costumes, that's what this is all about. And people are saying it's cool. They like it. And then you have that other side that says, what are you wearing and what are you doing?
Again, it's a free country. You can wear whatever you want. I'm saying it's also a free country. I can say you look like an idiot. You know what I mean? So, but again, I understand that's the motivation behind it. And that's awesome. And if there's folks out there that are dealing with things in their personal life and they look at Harry Styles and say, that's a guy that I can say, oh, you know what? I can do this. I can embrace my inner self and I can express. That's great. But I don't have to watch it. So I looked at it like, what the are you wearing, dude? But that's his thing. Who also does that is, who's the star of Dune? That Timothy Chalamet, he's always wearing as you said, sort of gender-bending kind of stuff. Well, which Bowie started back in the 70s, if you're taking the lineage of it.
The term that they're using is again, queer baiting, which means you dress a certain way, but you don't claim to be that. And that is why I think some people get upset about Harry Styles. And so he's recently come out and said, hey, this is what's going on with my sex life. And he's openly talking about it for the first time. But to your point, you want to talk about it, you got to talk about it. And you got to go down this road of what's going on and why Harry Styles is doing what he's doing.
So the Grammys last night, the other thing that apparently was big, Bonnie Raitt wins an award. Some people were saying, I didn't know Bonnie Raitt had a song out, which is kind of gets you to the weirdness of how you can pick some of the songs which are she was going up against, which everybody on the planet knows, which, again, Bonnie Raitt's a tremendously talented artist. But this goes back to why I always beef about, judging one piece of art over another. But that's what they do at the Grammys.
Yeah, listen, I for the parts that I watched, because I told you I was watching this Bullies thing for the Ravens too, but for the parts that I watched and the ones that I wanted to see, it was okay. I mean, I enjoyed what I was looking for, which was I wanted to see how they were going to celebrate 50 years of hip-hop, who was going to perform, what that was going to look like. Questlove was involved. I enjoyed that aspect of it. If you ask me about the intricacies of all the jokes and all that stuff, I didn't watch that closely.
Right.
That's what I watched for last night.
But again, generally getting better than reviews than not. The only thing with people, everything I've read, again, I'm deferring to you, was apparently they had like group conversations of fans of the band extolling the virtues of why this artist should win the award. A lot of people said that was terrible.
I did see that. And so, for example, you had an Adele fan, right?
Okay.
And it was, here's why Adele's going to win the album of the year or song of the year. And they lay out all of the stuff that they feel like Adele not only means to them as an artist, but what their music means. And you had that for Beyonce. You had it for Bad Bunny. You had it for every artist that was, nominated, Coldplay. Right. So that was the round table discussion. And Mike, it was with fans and not necessarily music people in the business.
Gotcha. Okay. That was one they said they'd probably, if they're going to do it next year, that's one they could probably leave on the cutting room floor. All right, buddy boy. It was Friday's show. In the middle of the show, you turn to me and say, there's a giant Chinese balloon floating over Montana.
Yeah, because it freaked me out because it popped up on my, big news alert, hello, something big is happening. And I'm like, what's happening? It was a big deal. It was a big deal.
So a lot of controversy now. Why didn't we shoot the thing down? Because it was loitering over where our missile bases are in Montana, where there's nothing up there in the Dakotas. And so couldn't you conceivably have shot the thing down there when the biggest risk would have been to the lives of prairie dogs?
That's what I thought.
I got to be honest with you. A lot of wide open spaces out there. But they're just like when Skylab was falling back to Earth, you knew exactly where it was going to fall. So, hey, everybody in a 100-square-mile radius.
That's right.
We're going to shoot this thing down. Anyway, now there's stories that are coming out that apparently they've done this before. And then it gets political, of course, because it may have happened under a previous president. So now the Chinese are always pushing, poking the bear.
Well,
or poking the eagle in this case.
Well, here's the deal.
And the Russians too, but the Chinese, this is their thing.
They have done it before.
Right.
They just haven't told us.
Correct.
Okay? So this comes out, and now we find out, and we're like, whoa! Because I think most Americans felt like, okay, kill it now, shoot it down.
So the thing was 200 feet tall, which is slightly, I'm a big fan of Richard Branson documentary, was just on HBO. Yeah. Slightly smaller than the balloon they used to transfer across the Pacific.
Still big.
Gigantic.
It's
and
huge.
What makes this interesting, they had a payload that weighed thousands of pounds, and it was about the size of a small airplane, like one of those regional jets. That's how big this thing was. So apparently the military, they're the ones that said, no, we're not going to shoot it down. We'll wait till it gets over the ocean. Then, of course, they blew it to bits over once it got over South Carolina. But a lot of people going crazy, and the memes were nuts. They had it carrying boxes of Chinese food. You had all sorts of other things. Can't do the Chinese accent because somebody will complain. But anyway, Carl, a lot of folks had memes. A lot of memes were popping on the balloon. The other thing is, can't we now return fire, as it were? Can't we use the Rocky and Bullwinkle from the Thanksgiving Day parade
and send it over?
Right? And send it over there, and then just to mess with them. Why don't we mess with them? Why are they always messing with us?
So here's the deal. How do you know we're not?
I hope we are. And they're always trying to steal our technology. Those again, by the way.
How do you know
I'm
we're not?
talking about Red China's leadership, not Chinese people.
Well, this is the deal, Mike. I think this is stuff that goes on all the time.
Right.
And again, because we found out about this one, how many more times have we not known about balloons flying over and people going, it's a UFO?
Right.
Just think about it.
I'm telling you, man, we should get Rocky and Bullwinkle, Garfield, Underdog, send them all to China, Carl. Let them float around over there over some of their military installations, see what's going on. See how long they wait to blow the stuff up.
Apparently, Rocky and Bullwinkle are flying over Chinese airspace as we speak.
All I could think of was the movie, what was it, War Games with Matthew Broderick.
Oh, yeah.
And I was thinking of Barry Corbin, the general, like chewing his red man. All right, get the assy mams warmed up in the bullpen. Like NORAD or somebody would have seen this before it got to Montana.
He played that role excellent,
He
didn't
really did. Hey, what did you think of the Pro Bowl? We talked about it to start the show. A lot of people are saying, look, you can't have guys playing football 3 quarters because someone's going to get hurt. So I guess the best we can do is flag football. And the guys seem to be having fun. And if the athletes are loose and having fun, I don't know about playing dodgeball and water balloon toss, but what did you think of the Pro Bowl weekend in Vegas?
Better than it was. Now, it's never going to be what it was. We're never going back to tackle football and guys blowing each other up. It's just not. The money is too much now, and guys are not going to risk being hurt. But I got to tell you, the way they started playing in that flag football game,
right,
it got serious. Like, it picked up, the intensity picked up, You saw guys like going at each other. And my point is, and I don't hope this or wish this on anybody, Mike, but when you play like that and you got guys still pushing on you and trying to grab flags, you can still blow out a knee.
Yeah, I mean, there's really no way. We saw famously Robert Edwards in the beach in Hawaii. Remember that in the old days of the Pro Bowl? They had a sort of a goofy football game. He blew his knee out. It was never the same. Former Georgia running back. Either way, people are saying, it wasn't the worst. Some people said, I can't watch this. It's just too goofy. And then finally, Tom Brady. We'll talk more about this in the headlines at 6, but Tom Brady is going to have a gap year between his NFL career and then starting for Fox. So another year of Greg Olsen and Kevin Burkhardt as the number one team. A lot of people saying this will lead, as we did, to immediate speculation and all through next season, as soon as a high-profile quarterback goes down, that Tom Brady will be called to the rescue. And will that happen?
A good chance that it could.